A wise man once said, if you eat then you'll feel like He didn't really, because he didn't exist. But I hope you can relate. When I was younger, lunch would often be a Mackie D's wrap of the day, followed by a double cheeseburger, followed by a 10-pack of Jaffa cakes. And yep, you guessed it. A couple hours after eating all this, I'd feel like I was about to enter a food coma that I would never wake from. But today, my diet's pretty decent, and it allows me to get a lot of done. At the moment, I'm doing a 40-hour week internship in a field and industry that I've got no experience in. I'm also doing 10 to 15 hours a week tutoring and coaching through my own private business, and also 5 to 10 hours a week finishing up a few essays on a course I've been doing part-time. And I still find the time to run 5 times a week and also occasionally make these YouTube videos. And all of this requires a lot of brain juice. And what gives me that brain juice? Well, it's food. Brain boosting, nutrient dense, flavoursome goodness. Stuff I've deliberately chosen to help me focus better, learn things quicker, and just try and use this noggin to the best of its ability. So, here's what I eat in a day. So I start my day at 6:30 a.m, and without fail I drink a pint of water with a multivitamin diluted in it. I'm not a big supplements person, but I'd just like to have this as a safety bet. And I also take a vitamin D tablet because I live in Scotland, and sunlight is hard to come by. I change into my running gear, go for a pee, and then do some leg swings. And then I head out for a 6-mile run. I get back, and because it was a bit warmer than I expected, I sweated a bit more than I thought I would. So I have another pint of water with a Cis Hydro tablet to replace the electrolytes and make sure I don't get a dehydration headache. Whilst that's fizzing away, I drop a clanger. I then down the pint and think,
oh, I look rough as toast.
After showering, I do a quick 15-minute stretch, and then at around 8:15, it's finally time for breakfast. Every morning I have my brain-boosting porridge. The oats provide a slow-release energy source that mean I don't have a massive sugar crash in the morning. Growing up, I used to have the standard cereals like cornflakes, but they don't really fill you up and you're just hungry and unable to concentrate like an hour later. I then add chia seeds to my porridge, which help feed the beneficial bacteria in your gut that assist the production of neurotransmitters and hormones like serotonin. This helps maintain and stabilize your mood. I also add peanut butter mainly for taste, but apparently peanuts can help increase blood flow to the brain. Finally, I add some apple and blueberries, both of which supposedly boost neurogenesis, which is the production of new brain cells, and this can help improve learning and memory. I wash this all down with a cup of peppermint tea, which itself can stimulate the areas of the brain responsible for alertness, resulting in increased concentration. It's also been found that the aroma of peppermint tea can reduce feelings of anxiety and has a calming effect.
Also, controversial opinion, but if you need a coffee as soon as you wake up, something's going wrong. Because surely you're at full battery, you've just had a sleep. I've never understood that. Instead, have a nice calming peppermint tea. I don't get why you'd need to feel sort of buzzed first thing in the morning. Maybe that's just me. Maybe another somewhat controversial opinion. I'm someone who brushes my teeth after I've had my breakfast. I've never understood people who brush their teeth as soon as they wake up and then, they drink orange juice when they've got a minty mouthful or just trying to eat cereal when your mouth tastes of Aquafresh. What do you do? Do you brush your teeth before or after breakfast? Let me know.
It's then time for work. I plan out my day, then respond to some emails and Slack messages from colleagues, then review the progress made in some tasks on a project I'm working on, and do some research related to this project. This takes a couple of hours, and I spend the last hour of the morning going through a LinkedIn learning course about software my colleagues are using for a project. I don't have to use it myself, but I just want to be able to understand its functionality a bit better, so I can actually have an idea about what they're talking about in our project meetings. It's then time for lunch. Again, pretty much without fail, I have the same lunch every day, 3 eggs with mashed avocado on a bagel. Eggs apparently improve your mood. I'm sure there's some scientific reason, but I think it's just because they taste good. And they also contain the key B vitamins, B6 and B12, which are important for overall brain health. They also are high in choline, which helps improve memory. I also sprinkle on some Trader Joe's everything but the bagel seasoning. This is literally the number one thing I ask my girlfriend to bring when she visits from America. Absolute game changer. To my smashed avocado, I add Himalayan salt, because I'm chili flakes and lemon juice. The healthy unsaturated fats in avocado help lower your blood pressure and in turn lessen your chances of experiencing mood issues. I disappointedly drip a bit of yolk during the egg transfer, then top things off with a touch of sriracha. This is honestly such a great filling lunch that doesn't leave you in that post-lunch food coma. I then do that cringe food-to-face pose that girls do when making YouTube videos about what they eat, and then I tuck it. I then also have a coffee for a caffeine hit because I'm naturally geared to suffer an afternoon slump. This helps me concentrate during those times in which I'm naturally most spaced out, and as the sun is coming through, I decide to work in the lounge for a couple of hours and review some notes prior to a call I have with a colleague. At about 3 p.m, I have a lemon and ginger tea. The ginger apparently helps with elevating your mood and positively impacts your dopamine levels, so that you feel more engaged with tasks at hand. I return to the home office as the change of scenery helps just refresh my mind, and I review another document before the call with my colleague. At 4 p.m. I have a protein shake because, as you can tell, I'm massive. I use the Protein Works and today's flavour is strawberries and cream. I've always hated the taste of protein shakes, but this one is the least offensive. I also always find a bit clags up in my NutriBullet. If anyone could tell me why the protein powders do this, then I'd be pretty grateful. I also have a handful of cashew nuts because nuts reduce inflammation, including in the brain, and also help with general cognitive performance. This snack helps me get through the rest of the day till dinner because I usually tutor or coach for a couple of hours after I finish my internship at 5 o'clock. I change up my work position again because at this point I'm really getting ants in my pants. For the last hour of the day, I just check over a few more tasks that I'm in the loop on and plan out travel over the next couple of weeks as the company is having some on-site meetups. 5 p.m. comes around and I pretend to yeet the company laptop because I'm a certified entertainer. Fortunately, today is Wednesday and I realise that I don't actually have any tutoring work as it's half term and some of my students are taking a break. So I head to the shop for some fresh air and some oats as I'm almost out. I then do a quick leg strengthening and mobility workout before dinner, all maintenance stuff to prevent future running injuries, and as you can see, I could probably do with some tips on form. I then start prepping dinner. About 3 nights a week, my lazy go-to is my veggie tray bake. I first season some sweet potato and then set this aside before seasoning tomatoes, red onions, red pepper and sprouting broccoli. You don't have to be a genius that all of these are incredibly good for your brain. In particular, the broccoli is rich in brain-healthy nutrients like vitamin K, lutein and folate. And research suggests these may help slow cognitive decline. The sweet potato gets a head start in the oven as it takes longer to cook. In the meantime, I do a quick review of an essay draft I've been working on for my part-time course. It's in hypnotherapy, which admittedly when I first started I was quite skeptical of, but it's actually been super interesting to see how this therapy is gaining more credibility as a viable method to help people with all kinds of psychological issues. I then pop in the other veg as well as a tray of seasoned chickpeas. These are high in magnesium, which speeds up message transmission in your brain and also helps relax blood vessels, which allows more blood to flow to your brain. This mound of food then goes into a pasta bowl with some hummus, which feels a bit weird given I'll be smearing it over chickpeas, kind of like dipping nuggets in chicken blood. Anyway, I smash this down with a wrap, and then it's time for dessert.
So just finishing up the day with 2 desserts. So we've got a protein pudding and then also 3 protein wheat biscuits. Reason being is that I eat a lot of vegetarian and vegan food, and I've read a lot of books about sort of plant-based nutrition, and they say, oh, you can get all your protein from beans, pulses, but you have to eat so much of them. Honestly, like that tin of chickpeas I had, I think total, maybe like 15, 16 grams of protein. And just given the amount of running I do, that's just not enough. So I try and supplement it with these other things. I still eat red meat, maybe like once a month. Fish maybe a couple of times a week, and then maybe chicken once a week. But predominantly I just try and keep it sort of whole food plant stuff, just because that's what works for me. And pretty much everything that I've eaten today, bar these 2 things, have not been like processed at all, right? So I think it's really key just to eat stuff that is as natural as possible, hasn't gone through loads of different processes, had loads of shit added to it. Because that, I think, fundamentally interferes with your ability to focus, your ability to concentrate. And this is just what works for me. Everyone's got different tastes and goals when it comes to their nutrition. But yeah, these are all the things that I turn to if I want to have a super focused, productive day. Down.